Hello, everybody, and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43, and tonight we are not back in the Arizona. But I have a question. If I had to ask you straight up, what is the most accurate battleship at Tier 5? What would you say? Would you say the Arizona? California? Definitely not New Mexico. Primal, maybe? West Virginia? Yuga? Queen Elizabeth, Renown, Warspite, Bayern, Donkey, Normandy, Ishmael, Andrea. Would you say any of those? I can guarantee that you didn't say it's the Prince Eitel Frederick. Guaranteed. And it is. This is the most accurate battleship at Tier 5. And I know what you're thinking. Wait, what do you mean, Spartan? Well, we are running Azure Lane Prince Heinrich. Right? That is our commander. We are running Andrew Cunningham and Azure Lane, Colorado. We have Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, and we have Heinrich's Hunch Punch. And then we are running Fight Fire with Fire. Now, for the rest, we are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, and we're running Steering Gears Mod 2. But the real reason that we're doing this is because we have created the most accurate battleship at Tier 5. Now, 52,300 hit points is, not great, not amazing. But 18.1 kilometers of range with a 27-second reload with 8 350mm guns. So keep that in mind. This is something that has gotten me a couple of times. These are not 15-inch guns. These are slightly smaller. I think they're 14.5s or something like that, but I digress. 14.2, 14.3, who knows. Anyway, 2.38 shell grouping. That's absurd. That's absurd. As far as the rest of it goes, I mean, our HE shell maximum damage 4,000 with 88 millimeters of penetration. AP shell maximum damage is pretty bottom tier because they are a little bit smaller, but 11,639 is respectable. And it has standard armor pin angles. But that isn't everything in this particular ship. Despite its ability to hit the target more, it does tend to leave you questioning why you chose it a lot. Which is why the other day I made the comment during our little video about Tier 5 that this is one of the worst battleships at the tier. Was I being harsh? Possibly. But I still stand behind that, despite being able to build this thing into incredible, and I know a lot of people will be looking at the secondaries and be like, why don't you build into secondaries, Spartan? Because, no. The guns are actually the better option, the main guns. Just because, like, you're going to get up close and personal to use the secondaries anyway. And getting your guns to reach out and touch people at distance is going to catch a lot of people off guard in this. AA defense for the tier isn't bad, but still basically useless. Maximum of speed, 26 knots, pretty solid there as well. Concealment, 13.4 by sea, 11.2 by air. 2 is always guaranteed, 12 kilometer smoke firing penalty. Statistics are probably going to be horrendous. Yeah, 19 battles played and 53% win rate, despite the main gun accuracy being 46%. But look at the average damage. Despite having incredible accuracy, the damage is pretty anemic. 70,000 damage. Not the greatest. As far as armor goes, this thing can be very trolly to fight up against if the person using it knows how to angle. Because people will go for the armor belt and the casemates, and they will be turned away looking silly in the process. The ship does sit pretty low in the water as well, so you can get away with quite a bit. And you do have an ice... Well, you know how I said the other day, it's just easier to say icebreaker. But we have an extended belt that goes all the way to the bow. Yes, you are still overmatchable on the bow. It's 25 mil, so anything 15 inches and above goes through. But if you bait them into shooting your belt, you can actually make people look absolutely silly with this thing. But that being said, if we get rid of all the dumb stuff, you can see that Citadel is pretty low in the water, but it is definitely reachable through the rear. If you get caught over-angled while kiting, This is where you're most likely to take citadels. You could take them through the front as well, but it's not as likely because of that extended belt. If I show that again. Where's the belt? There we go. So your extended belt goes over to the rear as well, but again, I have not been citadeled through the front cheek nearly as often as I have through the rear cheek. So just keep that in mind in this thing. But with all of that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we're going to be on Trap, and we are in the Prince Eitel Frederick. And it's going to be kind of a goofy match here. But I hope it's fun for you guys, because there's some craziness that goes on in this one. Specifically for some insane torpedo beats. So if you guys are ready for that, let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, so the Prince Eitel. I have a love-hate relationship with this ship. I don't dislike the ship as much as I think it is the worst Tier 5 battleship. But it's kind of like me saying that the George is the worst American Tier 7 battleship. And a lot of people will argue with me. But I'm not saying that the Georgia is bad. I'm just saying that there are better options. It's a meme ship, right? Where there are much better options. Of course, now Georgia's a lot better than it used to be because of the way that the game has progressed and given us the epic fourth slot equipment. Artillery plotting room. That's the word I was looking for. So as the game progresses, the ship gets more accurate. But without all that, we're going to show you guys the goods and the bads of the ship, and hopefully I'll get to show off a little bit. Because I'll be honest, this game's been one of those really, really frustrating ones tonight. There's been so many blowouts, man. Like, one of the things I was enjoying this week about Tier 5 was that there wasn't as many blowouts. But for whatever reason, I think everybody started playing Tier 5s tonight, because Lord have mercy, all the potatoes are out tonight. The amount of 8 destroyer games with carriers and then having everybody die in 30 seconds has been insane. Both teams, both ways. But we get a good shot here into the bow of the Leander. Honestly, I was sadness there. I ain't gonna lie. I thought I had the Leander dead to rights, because citadeling it through the bow is not uncommon. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. Tennessee takes a shot at us, and I want you guys to take a look at this Tennessee. I want you guys to pay attention to him. We're going to get a look at the Nuremberg here, and I'm going to try to take a shot at him. Rear turrets, unfortunately, hit the island. Front turrets, I don't think, end up doing much of anything to the Nuremberg. But right out the gate, you see that the freaking carrier's coming for me, and I'm like, really? You got the whole goddamn ocean, and you got to find me. It's every time. Like, it never fails. And then, of course, the one torpedo that actually arms knocks out my steering. So that forces me to use my repair party. And that's when the carrier gets spotted, because our destroyer decided to go all the way around the map, and, yeah, well, guess who's priority numero uno for me? Hello, sunshine. How you doing? Oh, you're not even moving. Well, how useful is that? That's perfect. You just sit there, and nothing bad can ever happen to you. Yeet! No! Come on! Why do I have to leave everyone with just enough to get away? Now, of course, he's going to start going forward, and he's going to try to run away. This is all bad things. You should have just been dead. That's okay, because there's only so many places he can possibly go, so we just go ahead and take the shot. Right? So, yeah. Down he goes. We get the kill anyway. But we didn't get the death strike, which is highly unfortunate. I think we can all agree. But the destroyer on our team is out there on the border, and I believe it is Farragut, if I remember correctly. But the carrier takes one last swing at us because he's really unhappy that he got himself yeeted immediately. And, of course, he hits darn near every one of his skip bombs, and they did some damage. But we're good. So we're going to go ahead and start rotating our guns back around. I don't want to go out to the edge because there's no reason to. The Tennessee is clearly turning around and coming back. So I want to put myself in a good position to counter his push or his counter rotation. Now you can see there is a destroyer over on the right side of the minimap, but Yeah, there's somebody else over here that I didn't know exists. And you can see I'm like, who in the world is spotting me? Somebody is out here. But in my head, I was thinking, okay, maybe it was the destroyer on the other side of the map. But here we get a beautiful look at the Tennessee, and then I am going to give the Dreadnought shuffle of a lifetime. Man does get a couple of pins at the very end, but I made that man look silly. And that's what I'm talking about with that armor belt. It don't take much to go from getting your guns on target to closing the door real fast and making whoever shoots at your broadside real stupid, because they will just shatter and ricochet automatically off of your belt. Now here you can see I was thinking about going for the rear, and then I'm just like, nah, just take what he gives you. Shoot high, and we get plenty of damage there. And again, remember, these are not 15-inch guns, right? This is the thing that's gotten me a few times on this. I always forget that these are not 15-inch guns. These are 350, not 380 mil. Big difference, right? So we do not overmatch. But this is something that's gotten me multiple times. But it's about this time that the Leonie decides to get himself spotted. I'm like, oh my god. And look at my destroyer. My destroyer is constantly shooting at the enemy Tennessee rather than shooting this destroyer. And you can see I'm pointing the destroyer. Like, I couldn't care less about the Tennessee at this point. But I'm pointing at the destroyer, and that's when I know that the Nuremberg around the corner is going to start doing something. And you can see I go ahead and repair my... This was a stupid moment of trying to repair a gun for no reason whatsoever. Repairing a gun when you're about to be torpedo rushed by a cruiser and a destroyer seems like a pretty dumb idea, doesn't it? Yeah, it is. But we end up getting very lucky to not get flooded here, and we dodged most of the torpedoes, and our secondaries are doing things, and there is a cruiser behind us that is hiding behind an island, and the Farragut does eventually end up shooting the destroyer, and we managed to use the island to separate ourselves from the Nuremberg. So at this point, this game has been kind of crazy, really fast, as you'd expect, but it's not over yet. I'm about to showcase one of the nastiest torpedo beats I think I've ever done in a battleship. I've done a lot of just insane torpedo beats through the years, and battleships are another one that I do it quite often in because I play a lot of battleships, but this thing's skinny for a battleship. And it allows you to do some silly things when it comes to dodging torpedoes. So watch this next shot. So we're coming around the corner. This guy doesn't even know we exist. We take the shot. He's actually stopping. And so we have to wait and try to get rid of him. And of course, we shattered 3 shells on the belt of a Nuremberg at 2.5 kilometers. That's absurd. But thankfully, he goes for widespread as the best spread. And we get to the inside of the one, but we don't overdo it, and we sneak on the outside of the other. And at this point, this Nuremberg is probably just laughing at how badly he fucked that up. And then, of course, we come around the corner. We don't even have to aim down sights. We just yeet that man. How dare you. No more shatters for you, sunshine. And then, of course, we're just going to sit here and try to capture the base, and the enemy battleship goes down on the other side of the map. ARP Haruna is not long for this world. I'm just hoping that we can maybe get this cap before the end of the game. And my guns are turning around, but yeah, this one's going to be well in hand, I think, as he's burning to death. And you can see our cruiser misses. I take a shot here, trying to get just a little cheeky kill. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, my shell drops short, and he dies after we capture the base. So perfect! That is the best scenario possible, right? But yeah, I thought this was a fun match just for just sheer chaos, and then the dodging at the torpedoes at the end was pretty chef's kiss. But top of the leaderboard, again, just showcasing that you can make any ship work. Even if it's not the best at the tier, it's still a pretty solid ship. And again, as the most accurate battleship at the tier, it is laughable at times just how bad the thing can actually do. Because you will take shots that look absolutely amazing, and then you'll be like, what happened to my shells? They shatter, they bounce, they don't do anything, and then the next thing you know, you triple citadel something, and you're just like, I just want consistency. And you would think with the most accurate battleship in the tier that you would get that consistency, but no, you don't. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you even know that this was the most accurate battleship at the tier? Because I didn't until today. But anyway, let me know what you think. And if you like what I'm doing, punch a like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.